Welcome to Hike Over the Hill. I am Jedi coming to you from the thriving metropolis of Rochester, New York, in my sunroom. The weather has been crazy. It was literally like 22 degrees less than 48 hours ago, and today it's 70. So I hope that's not a harbinger of things that are going to happen on the trail. I want to very quickly show you my clothing system. I have to be quick because I haven't treated them with permethrin yet. This is permethrin. This is the first day above like 40 degrees that we've had in several days, so I have to get out there and start treating this stuff. I'm going to go from top to bottom. I'll hold each piece up, tell you what it is, why I have it, and so on. But I'm going to move quickly because I'm running out of time here. It's 1:35 in the afternoon, and we're leaving tomorrow morning. I still have a lot to do. All right, so starting at the top, a hat. I always wear a hat when I hike. This is the Sunday afternoons, I guess is the brand. And I like this hat because it's very light. I think it's like less than 2 ounces. It's got ventilation in the top. It has little reflectors on the back. Not that I would be hiking at night, but it's very quick drying. It's somewhat waterproof. Rain will roll off it. I'll have a rain suit on though if it's really raining. But the thing I like, it's got this little, and I probably have to practice doing this, but it's got this little sunglasses garage up here where you can park your I'm not going to be able to do it because I haven't practiced with it. There's these two little slots where the stem of your sunglasses go, and so you can park your sunglasses right on your head, and it's not going to fall out. It kind of grabs onto, boy, it does a really good job. It's such a good job, I can't get it in there. It kind of grabs onto your sunglasses, so your sunglasses won't fall off your head while you're hiking. Okay, so that's what that's all about. These are SunCloud sunglasses. I got these in the REI outlet for like $16 or something, not even, maybe 12 bucks, I forget. But you always have to have sunglasses, protect your eyes, of course. As far as evening or cold weather, I have here the Smart Wool Merino Reversible cap, also very lightweight. I believe this is 1.5 ounces, I want to say. It's great. What I like about this hat is it's very clingy. As you can see, I have no hair, so I like a hat that can cling to my head. I can roll up the cuff here, and it will double up over my ears. So now I have 2 layers over my ears, keep my ears really nice and toasty warm. And then I can also pull this down and use it as a sleep mask when I'm sleeping. So, so that's that. I'll wear that sleeping when it's cold, and potentially while I'm hiking if it's really cold. Also for my head, I'm going to bring this for the first few weeks. I'll probably send this home once I get to Harper's Ferry or sometime in there. This is a Hoodlum. It's made of down. This thing weighs a little over 1 ounce, I believe, maybe 1.5 ounces. I've added these shock cords on it because I found when I tested it, it has a tendency to float off. You're supposed to wear this usually when you're sleeping. You could wear it hiking, but oof, it would have to be super cold, like Arctic conditions. So I'll put it on. I added these shock cords on the bottom, and you'll see why, what these do. As I said, when I was sleeping, when I was testing it out, I found that it kind of wanted to kind of float off my head. So I put these in, and I look pretty silly with this on, but boy is it warm. So you put these shock cords underneath your shoulders, and so this prevents that from floating away. And then I can tighten this down if it gets really cold, just so my mouth and nose are exposed. And there's a shock cord here with a little cord lock. Anyway, like I said, it's about 1.5 ounces, filled with down, super lightweight and super crazy warm. So I'll be taking that. I have a merino wool buff. This is also to keep either my head warm. You can do all kinds of things with buffs. I'm not going to show you all the different variations. I could just use it just to keep my neck warm, right? I could just bunch it up around my neck and do like this, and I can kind of create a little turtleneck at night, or I can pull it up over my head a little bit if I want, kind of like a babushka or something. You get the idea. Let's see, I have a bandana here. I always bring a bandana. It's not really an item of clothing, but when it's super sunny out and I need to protect my head, because that's one thing I don't like about this hat. It's only got the brim in front like a baseball cap. So, my ears are exposed here. So what I will do is I will take this, put this over my head, and you're probably laughing, but you got to use things for multiple purposes when you're out on the trail. So I do this kind of thing, right? So this will protect my head from the sun. I'll have this kind of like a bedouin or something out in the desert. But that's what that's for. This is also impregnated with insect shield, so this will kill any ticks or whatnot. This has already got it in there. I don't have to treat this with permethrin. Let's see, let's go to shirts. This is going to be my hiking shirt to start. This is a ex officio. This has been impregnated with insect shield, so that's good to go as far as insect treatment. This is my merino wool smart wool top, and this will be for sleeping only. So this will be kept warm, it will be kept dry and clean inside a dry sack in my backpack. And then in an emergency situation, if a blizzard popped up in April, I can't imagine, but I could put that on and wear that as a base layer or a mid layer while I'm hiking. Here's the mid layer I am taking. This is the North Face TKA Glacier quarter zip fleece. It's a super lightweight fleece. In fact, that's one of the problems I have with it. This thing is on the bubble as far as whether I'm going to send it home at some point, especially when the weather gets warm. I almost certainly will send this home because it weighs about 8 ounces, which is great for a fleece. It's very lightweight, but you don't get a lot of warmth for that weight. It's just kind of thin. It's almost like a velour. And it's very clingy and staticky, and it's fine to sleep in, but I might have a hard time hiking in that, so that's going to have to prove itself before I'll keep that. Of course, pair of underwear, ex officio. I like the jockey short style. A lot of hikers don't wear underwear. I think you're crazy not to wear underwear because that's where chafing comes from or can come from. So I always wear underwear. Just keeps everything, from rubbing and chafing. Then I have my little bracelet. It's like one of those Livestrong bracelets. It's a road ID bracelet, and it's got my name, my birth date, my wife's contact information, my blood type, and things like that. In case I have a medical incident, I'll have this on my wrist at all times. So if anyone needs to help me, they can look at that. Next, this is a pair of Z-Packs brushtail possum gloves. It's a blend of brushtail possum fur and merino wool, and these have the little threads in the fingertips, so you can use your cell phone or any kind of touch screen with it when you have them on. They're pretty warm. I wore these jogging in temperatures just above freezing, in the mid 30s, and my hands were warm, even the windy weather. These don't cut the wind completely because they're like mittens. They're fairly loosely woven, but they're pretty warm, surprisingly warm for their weight. And they also are claimed to dry very quickly. So this will just be on those really cold mornings when I've got to do things around camp and my fingers are getting numb from touching things that are cold. These are rain mitts. These are REI Gore-Tex lined rain mitts, also very lightweight. And this is just for when it's raining, when it's cold and raining, because there's nothing worse when you've got your trekking poles and your hands are getting wet, and then it gets cold or it's windy and it just robs all the heat out of your hands. Your hands can get very cold and miserable very quickly. Moving on to my pants. These are Columbia pants. These are convertible. The legs do zip off. I like the convertible pants. I always hike in long pants. I've only once hiked in long pants that I took the legs off of. That was on Cranberry Lake in the Adirondacks, and I regretted it almost immediately because we were walking through some low brush and it was just against my legs the whole time. So the reason I like long pants, even when we did stay on Catalina Island, the Trans-Catalina Trail, 95-degree heat, I have long pants on. Protects me from the sun, obviously, protects me from insects, protects me from brush or any other things along the trail. And you think about it, people in the desert, the Bedouins, they're not out there in tank tops and shorts, right? They're protecting themselves from the sun by wrapping themselves from head to toe in fabrics. So very lightweight, nylon, I believe. Nylon, maybe some polyester blend in there. Same with the belt. It's a nylon, it's a little pop belt, very quick to click together and unclick. So this has been with me on all of my other backpacking trips, and it's going on this one to start, and we'll see how long it holds up. I'll cover the rain gear. This is my Enlightened Equipment Visp rain jacket. I believe this is a medium, and I believe this weighs about 5.5 ounces, I want to say, which is pretty light. They're hard pressed to find another jacket much lighter than that. It's got the pit zips, it's got the full waterproof or highly water resistant zipper. So I've never used this in super rainy conditions, so I guess we'll find out how that performs. And also on the jacket front, we have here the Patagonia Micropuff Fleece. I have a Nanopuff Vest. This Micropuff jacket only weighs, I think, 2 ounces more than my vest. So it's very lightweight. A lot of warmth for the weight. I had a Ghost Whisperer, which is down-filled, which was lighter than this. That was about 8 ounces or just under 8 ounces. And this, as I said, is slightly over 10 ounces. But this is synthetic fill. So if it rains, if this gets wet, damp in any way, this will retain its warmth. Whereas down, when it gets wet, it'll collapse and you'll lose the warmth property. So down, you have to keep very, very dry. And when I'm wearing a jacket and it's raining or I'm sweating or it's humid, I just didn't have the faith that the Ghost Whisperer was going to work out for me. So I swapped it for, well, I didn't swap it. I sold it on eBay. Then I used the money and bought the micro fleece there. I'm sorry, the micro puff, Patagonia micro puff. My rain pants. Now I know rain pants are something that a lot of hikers discard very early on in their hike. I've never worn, no, I take that back. I've worn rain pants once on the Trans-Catalina Trail. We put on our rain pants. They can be handy also on laundry day. You have something to wear while you're washing your pants that you hike in. Again, these are the Z-Packs Vertice, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Pants, I got them in long. I think they're regular waist and long because I have long legs. So we're going to try them out and see how they work. And if I wind up sending them home, I do. Then that's that. Oh, these are calf compression sleeves. I've never used these hiking, but I know that a lot of people have problems with shin splints and other issues with their legs, the blood pooling in your legs. So I thought, I found this company called Rockay, R-O-C-K-A-Y. I believe they're based in Denmark. I could be wrong about that. It's somewhere over there in Europe, Netherlands, Denmark. These will go over my calves. Now, they do make socks. I didn't want compression socks because if you decide, oh, I don't need compression today, well, now you don't have a pair of socks to wear. I can take these off. I can mix them and match them with my socks. So these will just go from just below my knee down to my ankle. And again, this will keep the blood from pooling in my legs and hopefully give me some extra support, hopefully prevent shin splints, but I guess we'll see. I talked about my base layer for sleeping in, my top. This is my bottom for sleeping in. This is smart wool leggings. These are merino wool. This is mid-weight, so a little bit heavy. I will be sending these home or bringing them home with me at the end of May when I come home for my break and swapping them out for a lighter weight pair that I have. I have a lightweight pair of leggings. Same with the top. I have a lightweight base layer top. I'll be swapping out that heavy smart wool for the lighter weight when the weather starts to get a little warmer. Here I have, and these are very stained and dirty, these are my sock liners. Yes, they've been washed, but they're just stained. And I thought, I've just got to keep using them until they give out, and then I'll send home. I have another 5 or 6 pairs of different sock liners, so I'll have my wife send them to me as I need them. I always use sock liners. I started using them on my first backpacking trip in March of 2019. That was the Trans-Catalina Trail. I'll put some of those videos up one of these days from the Trans-Catalina Trail. But in any event, the sock liner, the idea there is that you've got a layer against your skin, and then you have your sock on the outside. So any rubbing that happens is going to happen between the sock and the sock liner rather than the sock and your skin. So it's hopefully a blister preventative and preventing chafing and rubbing and hot spots and so on. This is a pair of Drymax socks. I've never worn Drymax socks hiking. If you've seen their commercials, if you haven't, they're pretty wild claims. The guy jumps in the pool wearing the socks, he takes them out, he squeezes them out a little bit, puts them on a paper towel, smacks them, and the paper towel is soaking wet, and then he turns the socks inside out, does the same thing on another piece of paper towel, and the paper towel is almost completely dry. So the idea is there's 2 different fibers here, and the fibers on the inside are hydrophobic, meaning they repel water, and the fiber on the outside, I'm not sure how that plays into it, but it's supposed to draw the moisture away from your feet. So if my feet start getting really sweaty, or I'm going to have to go through some wet spots, mud or bogs or creek crossings and things like that, I thought, well, let me try these. I can put these on and see, does it keep the water away from my feet? I guess we'll find out. I have another pair of socks here. These are Darn Toughs for hiking in. Not much to say there. And another pair of Darn Toughs. So I have 3 pairs of socks. One will be for hiking, one will be for sleeping, at least until it's starts to warm up, and then the Drymax for if moisture management if it comes to that. I may wind up just going with 2 pairs of socks. We'll see how that goes. My Gators, in case you don't know, Gators go down around your ankles. They cover the top. They're tight around your leg, and they prevent dirt and debris from getting into your shoes. So it's like a little skirt for your shoe. Goes over from above your ankle down to over the top of your shoe. And it's held down with a little clip under your shoelace and a little piece of Velcro on the heel there. I've always used these. I would never hike without them because they really do keep stuff out of your shoes. So that's awesome. Oh, I almost forgot about these little guys. I'm gonna, this is probably a waste of space and weight, but I'm gonna take these guys. These are little cleats. I'm not gonna unwrap them because they're all bundled up, but little cleats for the bottoms of my shoes in case I encounter any ice on the trail. There is still ice out there in certain parts of the trail, and especially up in the higher elevations. I don't know about Shenandoah, I'm doubting it. So if I haven't used these by the time I get to Harper's Ferry, the third weekend in April, then I'll probably send these home. These also have not been tried out yet. These are Mayfly Ultra Light Equipment, and I can't remember the name. I think it starts with an I. Amigo, something. Any event, these are camp shoes. Now, I've never used camp shoes before, and I've tried different types. I've tried water shoes, and I've tried different things. I actually have a pair of the shoes I bought that were going to be camp shoes. I'm going to put them in my bounce box and use those for my town shoes. They're just too heavy to carry. I think they weigh about 11 ounces, 11 to 12 ounces for the pair. That's a lot of weight to carry just to wear a different pair of shoes in camp. So these will allow my feet to air out. It's basically made out of the same corrugated plastic. You ever see those political signs that people put in their front yard? You know, vote for, you know, Joe Blow. That's made out of that. So it's kind of hokey, kind of silly, and I added some extra friction tape on the bottom. So we'll see. You know, this might be just the ticket. They're very light. I think they weigh this pair. I believe it weighs like 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. And then these are my Ultra Lone Peak 4s. These are the shoes I've worn most of my hiking trips. In fact, my first hiking trip on Trans-Catalina Trail, as I talked about before, 2019. And I wore these on both section hikes of the AT that I've done. I wore them on the Cranberry Lake Trail and the Adirondacks, and I wore them on my Finger Lakes Trail section hike that also went through Letchworth Park. So that, I'm looking around, make sure I didn't miss anything. That pretty much does it on the clothing front, folks. So most of the stuff is going to have to be treated with permethrin, however you say it. And I'll shoot a video of how that goes out in my garage here in a minute. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.